Welcome back to OneVerse. Today we have Todd Hostetler, pastor at City on a Hill Teaching Center, and we have Jeff Millslagle, also from City on a Hill. So today they're going to be discussing an New Testament verse, and Jeff, you will go first. This is going to be 1 Corinthians 10:13. And that says, "No temptation has overtaken you except such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will also make the way of escape that you may be able to bear it." So that's 1 Corinthians 10:13.
Okay, now what's cool about this is we don't think of it this way, but this is really very much a promise verse. This is very much where Paul, of course, is writing this, and of course, obviously, it would be from the Lord here, but he's saying that, look, there is nothing, sin, because he's made an argument about sin not ruling over you, etc. And particularly when you put Corinthians and Romans together, you're seeing that a lot. But he's making a point of saying, look, it's not going to you're not experiencing anything different than what other people haven't experienced in the past. He says nothing's going to overtake you that is except that what is common. Because God is faithful. He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear able. So in other words, you can't just say, I don't know, years and years ago, there was a comedian, Flip Wilson, used to have this little sketch thing, and he would always make a point of saying, yeah, the devil made me do it. Okay, and it was all funny, and he had gags and laughs and so on. But that is not true. Satan cannot make you sin. He cannot do that. You have sin nature and things you struggle with, but God, his Holy Spirit, is constantly breathing on you, giving you strength, giving you encouragement to overcome temptation. And I hate to say it, but quite frankly, when you sin, it's your fault. I don't know how to get this, because he's provided a way of escape. Now, what we need to do is always be praying, Lord, help me see this. Help me see the escape route. And most of the time, it's pretty recognizable. In other words, if I stay out of this if I don't watch this type of show or movie or whatever, if I don't go to this particular place, and if it means in the past you have to put roadblocks or whatever in your place so you don't get yourself into situations like that. That's one thing. But it's very much constantly saying, Lord, open my eyes so I can see what the avenue here is out, because it's always there. This is a promise. This isn't something that I hate when people say the phrase people fall into sin. No, we jump in it. That's what we do because we haven't taken the necessary steps to see this pathway that the Lord gives us out here. And I love this way of escape. Man, that is so important to us because that's what we're looking for when we're dealing and struggling with sin and temptation. No, you don't fall into sin. You jump in it. It's nobody's fault but your own. Pray, pray, pray. Look for God to open up to you what the avenue of escape is. All right? What you got there for us, Pastor Todd?
I think you summed it up really well, Jeff. And it is funny. I would even add my complimentary version of what you're saying. I've always found that when I look back on my life, most of the problems or struggles or difficulties or temptations that have come, it's because I've placed myself there. I mean, most of the times that there's been trouble in my life, you're exactly right. I'm the one that usually has positioned myself and put myself there. Usually when bad things happen, and we live in a fallen world and bad things will happen. But I think sometimes we like to, and our culture has kind of taught us to blame other people for the things that go on in our lives. Nope, I have to take responsibility for my own life and my own actions. And too many times in my life, the pain, the difficulties, the trials that I've had to go through, it's because I placed myself there, not because of any other reason. So if you understand that, then you can read this verse and you can be really encouraged by this. Because even when I have placed myself in a bad situation, and even when I place myself in an area where there can be temptation or trials because of what I've done. And when you look at this in the Amplified Bible, it pretty clearly expresses it's not just the temptations, it's the temptations and the trials that come with those temptations, especially when we yield to those temptations. And this has given us the assurance that we can look to God and he's going to deliver us. So even if I have allowed myself to be in a place or a position, I've put myself there where now I am under a trial, I am under duress because of my own actions. We can know that God is a compassionate God and he will still deliver us. When you read the Amplified Bible, I'm going to come halfway through it because it's like almost an entire paragraph to read this in the Amplified Bible. But I want you to see this part. It says that he will not allow you to, he will come to you. There's no temptation or trial that has come to you that is beyond human resistance and that is not adjusted and adapted and belonging to the human experience, and such as a man can bear. But God is faithful to his word. And listen to this, his compassionate nature. His word tells us that he'll deliver us and has delivered us, and he does it with a compassionate nature. Now, if it's me and it's my son and he did something stupid and got himself in that position, I'd be thinking, all right, you know what? You kind of brought this on yourself, learn from it. And we can learn from things, but God has a compassionate heart and he will see you in that position and he will deliver you from it. It says he can be trusted, not so that you will not be tempted beyond what your ability or your strength to endure. It goes on to say he'll provide the way out, that you may be capable and strong and powerful to bear up under it. He's not just giving you an avenue of escape. No, much more. God's always a God of abundance. He provides an avenue of escape for you to walk through that avenue. And you can do so not just in your own power, but in his power, which makes you capable, strong, and powerful in him to walk through to deliverance. Always good news when we serve Jesus Christ. Jeff, wrap it up for us.
Yeah, this is one of those passages where I'm always reminded of kind of one of my foundational principles of life, and it's real simple. Sin is a bad thing, and we have to always remember that, and because Satan is remember John 10:10, the thief comes to steal, kill, and to destroy. That's what Satan constantly wants to do with us. He wants to hurt you. That's what he is. He wants to hurt you. And this is why sin is so repulsive. And we have to constantly be on guard for this. But we're not on our own, because we could stand on this. God has given us a manner and a means of escape. Right. The very next verse, we tend to separate this, but the very next verse says, therefore, my beloved, flee from idolatry. What I love about that is the idea is Paul was like, imagine he's standing on a street corner and you're talking to him and he's going to yell right in your face, flee. That's what he's talking about here. All right, that's 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. Thanks so much for watching OneVerse. We'll see you next time.